Okay, for this project I'm using a size J. It's a 6mm crochet hook. And the yarn I'm using is, I'm just using all different brands and textures of yarn. I got like about 5 or 6 different colors, and then like this is Red Heart, and this is Lion Brand, Homespun, and I got big thick chunky yarn, and I got thin yarn. Just using a mix match. I got furry yarn. Just a mix match of textures. So any kind of yarn you want. And then you can use any kind of granny square that you want also. But you're going to need a total of 17 of them altogether. And I just did a basic granny square for mine. And I'll show you real quick how to do that in case you don't know. And if you don't want to use this granny square, you don't have to. But just start with a slip knot on your hook and a chain of 4. Slip stitch into the first stitch to form a ring. And I did a chain 3, which is going to count as our first double crochet. And then I want to go back through the center of the ring and do 2 more. So counting that chain 3 right there, that's 3 double crochets in a row. And then I'm going to chain 1, and I want to do 3 more doubles back through the center of the ring. Chain 1, 3 more doubles back through the center of the ring. Chain 1, and then 3 more doubles back through the center. So you need to have, and then after that you want to chain 1, and we're going to slip stitch into the first chain 3. So you need to have 4 sets of 3 double crochet with a chain 1 in between them, like that. And now I'm going to switch yarn, so I'm just going to tie this off real quick right here. I like to tie off when I switch colors. It makes for a cleaner transition. And you can pull your tail, and it'll usually make that center circle a little smaller. Okay, now you want to start with your next color. Slip knot on your hook. And I'm going to start in one of the chain 1 spaces. So I'm going to go ahead and pull through that slip knot that's on my hook to start with. And I want to do a chain 3, which is going to count as my first double crochet. And then I want to go back in and do 2 more in the same chain 1 spot. And then I'm going to chain 1 again, and I want to go back into the same spot again and do 3 more doubles. 1, 2, and 3. Oh. So I got 3 doubles, a chain 1, and 3 doubles, all in that corner spot. So now I'm going to chain 1 again, and I'm going to come over to the next chain 1 corner spot, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do 3 doubles, a chain 1, and then 3 more doubles, all back in that same spot. And then I want to chain 1, and I want to jump over to the next corner chain 1 spot and do the same thing again. 3 doubles, chain 1, and 3 more doubles, all in that same spot. and then I want to chain 1 again. Chain 1 and jump over here to the next. Chain 1 space and do the same thing. 3 doubles, chain 1, and 3 doubles. Chain 1. Three more doubles. And then I want to chain 1 again, and then I want to slip stitch into the top of the first chain 3 and tie off that color. I'm going to switch colors again. So that's what we got so far. Now I'm going to add another color. And I'm going to start with a slip knot with my other color. Now I'm going to start in the corner again, or the chain 1 space again. Go through that slip knot on my hook. And I'm going to start with a chain 3, counting as my first double. And then I'm going to go back in and do 2 more doubles. So that's 3 double crochet, counting that chain 3. Chain 1, go back in and do 3 more. 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to come over here to this spot right here, and it's not the corner of the square, so I'm just going to go ahead and put 3 double crochets in it since it's not the corner. 1, 2, 3, and then chain 1, and then jump over here to the next spot, which is the corner, the next chain 1 space. So we'll do 3 doubles, a chain 1, and 3 more doubles, all into the same corner spot. That, and then we chain 1 again, and then we jump over here to the next space, which is not the corner of the square, so we'll just go ahead and put 3 double crochets in it. 1, 2, 3, chain 1. The next chain 1 space here in between is the corner, so we're going to put 3 doubles, chain 1, and 3 more doubles. Oops. Now we're gonna chain 1 again, jump over to the next space, which is not the corner, so we just go ahead and put 3 doubles in it. Chain 1, the next space is the corner space, so it's going to get 3 doubles, chain 1, and 3 more doubles. Chain 1, the next spot is just, it's not the corner, so it's just 3 doubles. Chain 1, and then we go ahead and slip stitch into the top of the beginning chain 3 and tie that off. And I hid some of these tails as I went, so I'm just going to clip them off here and get them out of the way. Now I made every square a different pattern. Each one was different, but you can do yours however you want. But one thing I did on every single square is I had a base color, like I'm using this dark gray, that I outlined them all with. And that's what I'm going to sew them together with, and it'll also be the color of my handles. So if you want to do that, you pick out a base handle or a base color that you want to sew it together with. It just, if you outline every single one of them with a base color, when you sew it together, you won't really be able to see the stitches because it'll be the same color. For me, because I always have trouble using two different colors, stitching it together without seeing them, and I hate seeing stitches. So. But when I outlined every single one of them, I did it with single crochet. So I just started in a corner, and I went through that slip knot on my hook. And then I went through and did 2 single crochet in the corner. I chained 1, and then I went back in the corner and did 2 more singles. And then I just went across and did a single crochet at the top of every stitch. But you want to make sure when you get in the corners, you pull them over, and you want to make sure you get this first stitch right here. You got to pull them over to see it, because if you don't get that, it's going to be crooked. So go into it and do a single crochet, and I just did 1 single crochet across in each stitch. And when I got to these chain 1 spaces, I just went right through the space and did a single crochet, and then I just worked my way across doing a single crochet in each stitch, and then I'm at a chain 1 space again. I just go right through the space and single crochet. Single crochet in every stitch, and then when I get to the corner chain 1 space, I want to do 2 singles, chain 1, and then 2 more singles, all in the corner space. And make sure you pull your stitches back so you can see that stitch, because you got to go into that one so it's not crooked and lopsided. And then I'm just going to keep going across, doing 1 single in every stitch, and 1 single in the chain 1 spaces. And I'm in the corner again, so I want to do 2 single crochet, a chain 1, and 2 more singles, all into the corner. And then I gotta pull these stitches back so I can reveal the first stitch that I need to go into. And then keep going across with 1 single crochet in every stitch, and 1 in the chain 1 spaces. I'm at the corner, 2 singles, chain 1, 2 singles, pull these back so I can see that first stitch, and continue doing 1 single crochet in each stitch. And then when you make it all the way around back to your starting point, just slip stitch into the very first single crochet that you did. And then tie it off. And I always kind of get it stretched out a little bit. And that's it. And I did, like I said, I did 17. Mine, I mean, if you want to do it like mine, I had like, I think 3 or 4 different colors of orange and a few different colors of blue, and I never made one square the same. except for I outlined every single one with the same color. That way when I sew it together, you're not going to be able to see my stitches really. So once you get your 17 made and all your tails hidden, I got to go through hides and tails. I'll show you how to sew it together. This is how it needs to be sewed together. How I do it is face them right side up facing you, the good side facing you, and then they're facing diagonal. So 2, then 3, then 2, 3, 2, 3, and 2. And what happens is it folds in half. These two match up to these two. But to sew it together, I put them facing me. And you can sew it together any way really that you know how, but there's not really no easy way. And then I just start right here and I sew it. I'll take these two, fold them over, and you can see where I sewed it. Single crochet. I single crochet these two to these two. And the wrong sides are facing out because I folded it over. So there's the back sides. And then when I get done with them, I take these, fold them over, and go right across this way. And then so on. But they're sewed where the wrong sides are facing me. And then I just flip them over. And now the seam's on the back. And then I just went this way and sewed them. But some people sew them together one at a time. You can do it either way you want. And when they're all sewed together, I use single crochet. You can slip stitch them together too if you want. Whatever works best. It's going to go fold in half like that. And then you need to sew together this. There's going to be a corner piece on each side. And one half of the corner gets sewed to this piece, and then the other half is going to get sewed to this bottom piece down here, like that. So it'll be kind of like that, and then this side you get sewed up, and the same over here. Trying to do it one-handed because I'm holding the camera. Sew it up like that, and then this side and this side, and then right here. And then you'll have your top opening up here. And when I sew it together like this, I'm actually going to sew it wrong side out. So my seam will be on the inside. And then I'll flip it back. Flip it back around. I'm back in my office here, and I got my piece sewed up, but I haven't sewed up the sides yet. So what I'm going to do is folding it in half and wrong sides facing me. And if you like the looks of the ridges, you can actually sew it together right side out. It just depends on what you like. But I'm going to sew mine wrong side out. And I got my big piece sewn up as I showed you before. And then I showed you we're going to have to sew up this part right here. I said sew up the side, but actually you only sew to here. So what happens is I got my piece folded. I'm going to start right here. It's so hard to kind of explain it, and I hope you guys can understand it. And I'm going to pitch it like this. So I'm going to sew this up, these two pieces together right quick. And I'm sewing it with single crochet. This is how I sewed the whole piece. And you can sew it with slip stitch if it's easier for you. But I just went through the corner of both pieces and did a single crochet, and then I just matched up the stitches going along, doing single crochets, taking a stitch from this piece, stitch from this piece, and single crocheting. And this is kind of what I did the whole time I was sewing it together. And like I said, some people just sew it up one piece at a time, and that's fine too. You can sew it up any way that works for you. There's really not an extremely easy way. It's kind of awkward the whole time, I think, but I just about got it, so. Just going to keep working down, putting single crochets in it. Okay, I'm in the corners here, so I'm just going to put a single crochet in the corner. And now I got that one piece sewn up. Let me move this and show you. Now it has to be sewn, this side has to be sewn to this piece, and then these two pieces get sewn up to about to the second piece. That way you have a little bit bigger of an opening. If you go all the way to the top, it's going to be too small, so up to here. So since I'm already attached, I'm just going to go ahead and pick up this piece right here and sew it down this way. And I'm just going to go through the corner of this one that I just went through, and then the corner of my new piece, the corner of this one right here. Single crochet, and then I'm just going to keep single crocheting it together all the way down. And if you wanted to tie off there and start fresh, you could have, but I thought I would just keep going with the same string. And I'm about here to the end, and I just want to go into the corner, and then I'm just going to tie this piece off, and I'll just hide my tail here in just a little bit. But now I got to go, I got that all sewed up, and that leaves me with this side right here. If you can see, I'm just going to start it right here and slip stitch it back to this corner. So I'm just going to start in the corner of this piece and in the corner of this piece. And then I'm going to, did I say slip stitch? I don't know what I said, but I'm single crocheting it together. I'm sorry if I said slip stitch. I get confused talking about stitches all the time. Single crochet it together just like this, just like we've been doing. Okay, I'm about to the end here. And then I just want to tie this off. And I'll go back and hide my tails later. Or I'll make my daughter or somebody else do it. I'm mean. Okay, I got that one sewed up, and then I'm going to need to do the exact same thing I just did on the other side, which means take these two, sew it, and then I just went around and sewed it right here, and then I just did it cut off, and then I started a new one, sewed it right up to here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick, and then we'll get started on the handles. Okay, I finished sewing it together, and then I flipped it right side out, and that's what I got so far. Looking pretty good. Now for the handles. Now remember, you can do any kind of handle you want. You can even buy handles if you want. You can make one handle, two handles, short handles, long handles. You do whatever works for you. But for my handle, I did two. I made a chain of 65, and then I just double crocheted in the 4th stitch from the hook, and then I just did 1 double crochet for the length of the chain, and I did that 2 times. Now what I want to do is sew them on. So with my yarn needle, and I cut a longer tail too, so I could sew it on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sew them on up here at the points. So I'm just going to set it right here, about 1 inch or so down, and I'm just going to sew it up along the edge here. Just so I know that it's not going to come off. Go back and forth on it a few times to get it nice and sturdy. I'm also going to go around the edges of it too, so it'll make it like that. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take the handle and I'm going to stretch it out, and I'm not going to twist it. Try not to twist it. And I'm going to sew this piece of the handle over here the same way. And then I'm just going to flip my bag over and sew my other handle to the point on the other side. So I'm just putting it right here, approximately about 1 inch down, and then I'm going to sew it up. You get it on there nice and tight. You want to weave in your tail on the underneath side so it doesn't come undone. And now I'm just going to flip my bag over. I'm going to sew on my other handle, and I'm going to do that the exact same way that I just did this. Got both my handles sewed on. Now I'm going to do one last thing. I'm going to kind of clean it up, and it's going to give the handles a little bit of extra support. So I'm going to start with the slip knot. I'm going to start right here where the opening begins on one side, and I want to start by pulling. I'm going to start right up in the corner, pulling through that slip knot on my hook. Okay, I want to go into the same stitch I just started in and do a single crochet. Now I'm going to work along my bag, putting a single crochet in every stitch up this side. I'm working up this side here. I know this bag probably taking you a while. It took me a couple days to get it done. Okay, now when I get up here to where the handle starts to be, where it's sewn on at, I want to go through the next stitch on my square, and then I'm going to grab a stitch on the handle at the bottom here, I'm going to go through both of them. And then I'm going to go to the next stitch on my square and a stitch on the handle and go through both of them. Actually, let me go down and do that again. Go through a stitch on my square and then a stitch on the handle, single crochet, the next stitch on the square, the next stitch on the handle. I'm going through both of them like that. Now I'm done at the square. I went all the way up the side of the square. Now I'm just gonna start single crocheting around my handle. I'm doing one single crochet in every stitch of the handle, just like this. And I want to do the length of this handle until I get over here on the other side. Okay, I'm over to the other side now, and I want to do the same thing I did before. I want to grab a stitch on the square, not the very point stitch, but the one after. And then I want to grab a stitch on the handle and go through both of them. And I'm going to go in the next stitch and the next stitch on the handle and go down. And now I'm just going to continue going down this side with one single crochet in every stitch, just like we did on the other side. Okay, now I'm just going to continue. I'm at the corner and I'm just going to continue single crocheting up the opposite side, up the other side, and up this handle. So I'm just going to keep going. One single crochet in every stitch. And now I'm up the other side. See, it was just like this. I just kept going, doing single crochets around the corner. And I'm going to work my way up the side of this square. Like this. And again, I want to attach the handle to this square. I'm not using the point stitch, but the two before it. And if you can do the going through the stitch on the square and the handle. Just like that. And then I'm just going to continue going up my handle with one single crochet in every stitch, just like I did the other side. Just going up the handle now. Okay, I made it down the side of the handle, and I'm going down this side of the square, and I'm just going to keep doing one single crochet in every stitch. I'm almost back to where I started. I started over here, so I'm just going to do one single crochet in all these stitches until I get to my starting point. And when I get to my starting point, what I want to do is slip stitch into the very first single crochet we made, and then tie it off. Oh, sorry about that, it's probably loud. And hide your tail. Okay, one more thing still. Now I'm going to do the inside of the bag with one single crochet. I'm just going to start. You can start anywhere you want. Probably start down here or up here, but single crochet up the inside. Attach the handle to the strap like we just did before. Single crochet in every stitch of the handle. We just did this side. It's on the opposite side now. All the way down. Single crochet down this side, and then I'll slip stitch into my very first stitch. And I'm going to do the same thing on both sides. So I'm just going to start with the slip knot, and you can start anywhere you want, like I said. Doesn't matter, probably just start right here and single crochet, and one in every stitch, just like this. And I'm single crocheting the handle the same way I did before. Just a couple stitches through the square and the handle, just to give it some extra hold. And then I'm just going to continue going up the inside of the handle with one single crochet in each stitch. I finished to go around the inside, and when I got to the end I just slip stitched in my first single crochet just like we did before. And then I flipped it over and I went around the inside of the other side and inside the handle. And that's it. That's what I'm going to do. And I hope you enjoyed my tutorial. Don't forget to check out all my other tutorials. And don't forget to, you can check out my Facebook page. And you can post all your crochet stuff on there. And until next time, have a good day.